Kind of Hero by Suzanne Brockmann. This book is read by Bahni Turpin and Patrick Lawlor.
For the die-hard fans, readers and writers alike, of my beloved romance genre, your relentless belief in the power of love makes this crazy world a kinder, more hopeful place. Chapter 1. Wednesday. Wait. Wasn't that the Navy SEAL? Yes, the man who was frantically waving his arms at the side of the road, trying to flag down one of the swiftly passing cars in the rapidly deepening twilight, was, absolutely, Shayla's new neighbor. She recognized him immediately, even here, several miles from their semi-suburban neighborhood, mostly from his impossibly fit physique.
Oh, really?
Yeah, okay, all right. In truth, she recognized the SEAL specifically by his amazing ass. And sue her for being human, but when a man had a pair of shoulders that wide and a butt that was almost ridiculously proportionately not that wide, one's eyes tended to be drawn instinctively down toward that seemingly miraculous not wideness. Truly, though, it was the combo of what was covering that noteworthy derriere, a pair of very nicely fitting camo cargo shorts, plus his trademark flip-flops with a snug olive drab t-shirt, that had brought about her initial surge of recognition. She confirmed it, yep, that was definitely her local Navy SEAL, when he turned a head that was covered with regulation-defyingly shaggy, sun-streaked golden brown hair to reveal his too handsome face. Those eyes had to be blue. Even though he'd moved into Shayla's neighborhood nearly 2 months ago, she still hadn't gotten close enough to the man to be absolutely certain. But really, she knew. Neon blue. Had to be. And they probably twinkled and sparkled too. Still, even from a sparkle-obscuring distance, the man was hard to miss. And Shay's curiosity had pinged when he pulled a U-Haul in front of the sweet little bungalow for rent across the street, and her elderly and possibly omnipotent neighbor, Mrs. Quinn, had muttered, "Just what we need, as if it weren't already too noisy here," before darkly IDing him as a Navy SEAL.
Navy SEAL,
So yes, Shayla had looked at him and his perfect butt a tad more thoroughly than she otherwise might have. Tonight, however, the man was hard to miss for another reason. He'd practically leapt full out into the middle of the oncoming traffic, and there was a lot more of it than usual for a Wednesday evening near the high school. Shayla hit her brakes and leaned forward slightly to peer at him through her windshield, wondering if he'd been attempting to stop that one specific car in front of her, or if any old car and driver would do.
Bow chicka bow bow.
Harry Parker's irreverent voice in her head now sang a riff that was supposed to imitate the porn-worthy wah-wah of an electric guitar. "Shut it," she told him silently, since he was a fictional character, and therefore invisible, and she wasn't quite crazy enough to start talking to herself out loud. At least, not yet. And apparently, the SEAL wasn't picky, because he didn't wait for her to stop completely before he tried to open her passenger side door. "I'm sorry, can you help me? I'm not dangerous, I promise," he called to her through the closed window, but she was already hitting the button that popped the lock. It was pretty clear he didn't recognize her, probably because she'd never gotten around to bringing over a pie to welcome him, his sullen teenage daughter, and their obvious lack of a Mrs. Navy SEAL to the neighborhood. That was what Harry, in his infinite yet fictional wisdom, had recommended Shayla do. Wear a top with a neckline that plunged and bring her hot new Navy SEAL neighbor a homemade pie. It was a brilliant plan, except nearly all of her tops were crew-necked tees. And then there was that tiny pesky fact that she'd never baked a pie before.